Brad, do you think the team needs to improve late play execution, or is it just a matter of impressive defensive performance?
I don't think there's any question. Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy one. It's easier said than done. I think the guys did a great job until, you know, maybe the last minute or so. Although even in the last minute, like Jeff got the ball on an action where we wanted him to get the ball in the post, got it knocked out of his hands. We got the ball back on the side, and he got a wide open three.
It's kind of like deja vu. You know, we've been in the same situation the last couple of games, especially here at home, and we've fallen short every time.
Are these situations something you learn from? I mean, it seems that all of a sudden these late game situations.
Yeah, we had a great practice yesterday, and we focused on execution in the fourth quarter, and I think we did a pretty good job, except the last couple of minutes. It's tough. It's frustrating. I'll work hard on it, and I'll continue to work and get better.
Celtics almost had it, then they blew it. They lose 118-114 to the Phoenix Suns. This is the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog. All right, another episode of the Garden Report, another near win for the Celtics.
Another loss.
Another loss, guys. I'm Jared Weiss from CLNS Radio. We've got Jimmy Toscano from Celtics Blog, CSNNE, and Metro, and Julian Edlow. I almost said Edelman.
Edelman. That'd be sweet.
That would be fun. Julian Edelman here.
We look alike.
From CLNS Radio and WEI.com, making plays everywhere. We're going to talk about this one. We're going to start at the end with the late game execution, which has been a bit of a nightmare. What execution? You heard from Stevens off the top there. It's a major problem for them, Julian. They are drawing up plays that are failing miserably, and Rondo is not recognizing that he needs to get out of that play really quickly if it's not working.
Yeah, this is pretty much 2 games in a row that they've essentially dribbled the clock out to end the game. This time Rondo at least figured something out, but there was a lot of dribbling and fumbling going on. Jeff Green had that flail where the ball went up into the air, and then, eventually at least they made something out of it this time, and Rondo got 3 free throws. Oh, and then he misses them all. So the last 2 games, late game execution has been a huge, huge problem, just like Brad Stevens said, and they're going to need to figure it out going forward.
I don't know what the Celtics were thinking. They left 2.2 seconds on the clock. That's way too much time.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to dribble out the clock. Oh, wait, they were losing. Oh, shoot. Well, hey, it's a step up from last game when they actually took a shot after the buzzer went off.
No.
So we're taking baby steps here.
Yeah.
But all joking aside, it's kind of it's Rondo, right? I mean, both times. I mean, he's the point guard. He's controlling the ball, and they didn't have a clean shot off tonight. I mean, they had a couple. I mean, I know Jeff Green went up with it, and he got stripped, and it was just mayhem from the start. It goes back to if there was a few more seconds on the clock, it would have meant a little bit more. But Rondo, if he's going to take a 3-point shot and get fouled, you got to hit those free throws, dude. You're coming into this game as a 40% free throw shooter, and you go 2 for 10 tonight. That's awful.
Well, the thing for me is it actually goes back to the play before where Jeff Green has an inbounds give and go, and he pulls up for 3. They had 20 seconds left, and they were down by 1. And Jeff Green's taking an elbow 3 from 28 feet out. There's no way that Brad Stevens drew that up for him to be taking a 3 with 20 seconds left when they just needed to get fouled just to be able to win the game. That put them in a position where they're down 4. They somehow blow it completely, and they still get fouled because Alex Len went into Alex Len mode for a quick second there.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got a lucky break, and they still couldn't capitalize. How many breaks do these guys need before they can actually pull it off?
I'm wondering and Jared Sellinger said that they aren't losing any confidence late in games, but I'm wondering if it's starting to creep into their heads a little bit where they're looking up at the clock, they're looking at the score, they're seeing the opposing team slowly creep in, and now, we've been here before, we're going to blow this, we're going to lose, and it's just a mental thing at this point.
And if it is creeping into their head, the guy that they should be able to count on to settle them down should be Rondo, and he's been the guy making the errors in the last couple games, so they have a lot to figure out in these endgame situations.
Or Avery Bradley gets credit for a big turnover tonight.
Huge turnover, yeah.
Minute, so he can share the blame.
Well, okay, I talked about Jeff Green's blown shot. That was just about the only bad part of his night. Otherwise, he was an absolute game breaker. The dunks were incredible. I even wrote that he changed the gravitational pull in several galaxies with that.
He still hasn't come down from that first
He's still out there.
He's floating around somewhere.
We had to get in a spaceship just to go to the post-game interview. But I mean, he had that big steal before he made that play. He had a huge steal that was able to kind of save the game for them. I mean,
You're talking about the second one.
yeah, second one. He
second
not only
goal.
did he make the steal, he did an amazing spin move and kept the dribble going without carrying the ball. I mean, that was one of the best plays I've ever seen him make in his entire career.
Yeah, and he was extreme. He knew he was going to dunk that ball the entire time. He saw Morris. I don't even know which Morris brother it was. I
think it was both Morris
I don't think it
brothers.
matters.
Could have
I
been.
don't think they're basically one and the same. I mean, they like answer. They finish each other's sentences. And they sit next to each other. They do everything together.
Yes, we're not brothers.
Right, we're not. But he just. I mean, he dunked right over him. He was fired up after that. And looked at that point. That was kind of like a turning point. It looked like the Celtics were going to win this game, or you know what I mean. You kind of felt that way, but they figured out a way to lose it.
Yeah, Jeff Green was fantastic. He made all the right plays. He took a questionable shot kind of late in the game. But, you know, everything that we've seen from him, he's appeared to be much more consistent like we've always asked of him so far this season. We'll see if he can continue
This year he's been more consistent. He's been probably their best player at this point in the season. Will it last? We're going to find out, I guess. But, I mean, he is going into a potentially contract year, so I think he has a lot more incentive to play more intense than maybe he has in the past.
Interesting.
It's funny you said he's been their best player, because last game I said Kelly Olynyk might be their best offensive player right now. We're going to make that a teaser for part 2. Come back for part 2. We're going to dive into that one pretty hard. This is the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog. We will be right back.
Yeah, that's always the goal. You know, we will overcome this tough stretch. Like I said, I'm a strong believer. We have a great group of guys that are willing to play as hard as possible. We just have to continue to stay on the same page for 48 minutes.
So your faith isn't wavering at all?
Not at all. You know, we have a lot of young, talented guys. You know, they listen very well and they play hard. So, you know, what more can you ask for?